Okay, here we are inside MatrixGold. We're going to check out in this video the Pave builder and probably prongs on surface and adding gems as well to the surface in a Pave type setting. So the first thing we're going to do is grab something to get started with. So we'll go ahead and grab a oval and we'll change it to yellow. From F4, and we'll hold down shift, go up and make a little oval shape, and here we are, and we'll go to arc direction next and click on our arc directional tool. Make sure our quads are snaps are clicked on. Go to the quad and go to our right view and kind of give it a little dome shape, and then we'll do the same thing from side to side. Quad, did I move it? Quad to quad, and we'll go to our front view and give it a little dome effect, and then right away we'll take this curve and we'll split it with this curve because we want to do a curved network surface. So I should have two, which I do. We'll select all of that and we'll change to green, and we'll go to our surface, curved network, and there's our surface, and I'll take that. Looks okay. And I'll give it a little so we can get a good look at it. Alright, so I'm going to hide my green for a second, and I'm going to take these two curves, turn them to gray, and hide them, and turn my green back on. Alright, and I want to take my yellow curves and I want to go join them back together again, and then take this surface and that curve and duplicate. I'll just duplicate from this end quad, and I'll go to my front view and hold down shift and make it about 1.5 millimeters or so. It's totally up to you. And then I'll go back to my curves and get my line curve, go to my quad, first change to yellow, go to my quad snap, quad, and then we'll do another surface sweep, surface 1, with this curve, that curve, and that profile, and hit enter. And eject. Oh, I did surface 1. Don't want to do a surface 1. Make sure it's a surface 2 sweep. This curve, that curve, and this curve, and hit enter. Okay, there we go, and hit enter again. So I have a little dome on the inside and everything there. So I'll take my green and join it all together, and if I just leave it here, it says open surface, but if I click off, click back on, now I have a closed surface. So I already had a closed surface, it won't tell you until you click off and click back on. So make sure it's a closed surface. Right away, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this curve, I'm going to duplicate in place and hit enter, and then I'm going to take that same curve I just made and I'm going to go to my top view and click on my checkerboard while holding down shift, hold down shift and click on checkerboard and bring it out, something like this, and then I want to widen that area there just because I want to and we'll do something like that. Okay, and now we'll just go ahead and do the gems. So let's see, we'll leave it here. Well, we'll go to the top view. First let's go to solids, and I want to scroll down till I find extrude surface and click on that surface and hit enter, and right away I'm going to change it to a different color, and now we don't have a closed surface anymore, but that's because gems on surface will want just the one surface, so, or Pave gems rather. I'll go to my top view, we'll drag it over the side, and I'll kind of zoom in a little bit. Let's change that to a different color. Maybe I can see better with this color. So we'll go to gems. We'll go to our Pave gems right here. Click on it. It'll ask select surface. We'll take the surface. We'll hit enter. And it'll automatically place 1.3 millimeter gems out there. And this doesn't look too bad, but you can change the diameter smaller, you can change it larger, and it'll show you. You can also go from hexagon shape, where it's kind of like in between the stones, to a straight form shape. So you can play around with stuff like that just to see what is best for your design or what you're looking for. You can also tolerance between stones. It'll give you, it'll give you a 0.5. So some of the stones might be 1.15 or 1.05. So it'll give you a little tolerance to play with there. So you input how much tolerance you will allow. So let's just change our tolerance up a little bit, see what it does. Doesn't really do anything because that's the best. So let's just go back to 0.1. Distance from border, you can, if you go to real small gemstones sometimes, like you don't want to go past a 0.8. Sometimes it'll put it right there on the border where maybe you don't want it, so you'll have to adjust the tolerance there. Distance from border, rather, so you can play around with that. I'm going to bump it back up because we're wanting to take a look at placing stones on a surface, and this is, let's bump it up a little more. Yeah, something like this should be okay. 1.1, what's 1.2 look like? Yeah, 1.1. We'll go to 1.1. You can type it in as well. That way it gives us some spacing here so we can show off the adding gems to it. Alright, so I'll just click off my area into the screen itself and hit enter, and it'll place those stones. So right away you can see, we have spacing there. We want to kind of try and fill up. So we'll go to gem springs. We'll click on gem springs. It'll ask us to select our gems. Select our gems, hit enter. It'll ask us to select our mesh or surface, and we'll hit our mesh surface and hit enter. And now we have a area come up over here. You don't want to change this right away without hitting add gem first. In other words, you want to hit add gem and then change, because right now you can see that this is highlighted here. So if I change this, say, of course I can't put a 1.1 on there, right? Because it would automatically put it on if it was able to go there. So I'll have to make a smaller stone to put there. So let's say I want to put 0.8s on there, and then hit enter. It will automatically change that stone to a 0.8. So you don't want that. So let's change that back to a 1.10 and hit enter. And now I'm going to select add gem and change it to a 0.8. Okay, now I can add gems that are 0.8, and actually a 0.8, not 0.6. 0.8. And yeah, I could probably do 1. Let's try 1. Yeah, 1 looks pretty good right there. So I'm going to also click U direction. So when I put it on there, it's on both sides. So it's going to be the exact same side on both sides. So let's see, about maybe right there. Come down here. Add 1. Let's add it. Let's add it right in here. And let's add it right here and right here. Now I could have turned on my V direction too, which would automatically put them up here at the top as well, but I didn't do that. Right in here, and then these two right in there. All right, and let's check out 0.8. Let's see what this does. 0.8, enter, see if I can get a 0.8 in. It ain't gonna work, so I'll have to cover that up with some beading to this will work okay, but then it'll be off, right? Yeah, So we'll go ahead and leave it at that, and click off into nothing space and hit enter, and there's our gem. So right here we'll just put prongs or something to make it look, you know, more pave look. So right now we have our stones out there, so the next thing we want to do is go ahead and go to our settings, click on pave prong. It'll ask us to select our gems, so we'll select our gems and we'll hit enter. Give it a few seconds, and it should put our prongs out there. Oh, select our surface, and there we go. Okay, since I had lined up, it puts the 4 prongs right there, which I don't know, it doesn't look too bad. Kind of interesting. And you can come over here and how much do you want it to overlap on the stone? You can adjust that. Let's type in a 0.3 just for video sake. 0.3, enter. Didn't really change too much. Let's take it back to 0.2. Let's change it to 0.1, see what that looks like. Yeah, it made them a little bit smaller, which is probably better. These prongs I really don't care for too much. Let's bump that back up to 0.2, enter. Okay. And you can see there's some out there that maybe I just really don't like. And you can also go back through there and put larger prongs on or something. And we'll just go ahead and accept this. Let's bump this up to a 0.3. Let's see what that looks like. Okay, so it gives us a really cluster there. Yep, I'm dropping it back down. 0.2. 0.2 it is. And height above girdle, you can check your height, see how high you want it. I think 0.5 is plenty. And capped, of course. Taper, you can taper them. Tolerance, minimum percentage inside. But that looks okay. There's some things I really don't care about it, but like right there. But we'll go ahead and accept that for now and hit enter. And from here, what we're going to do is first, before we go and add any prongs to cover up those areas, is find out exactly what we need to cover up. That kind of does Pave Builder. You can adjust all those. If you went with the hexagon, it wouldn't put those 4 in there. It'd be a lot different. But we'll continue on. So let's go to Tools, and I want a profile on this rail here. And we'll go to our right side, and first thing we need to do is switch that to Z direction, and we'll change the profile, something little basic, but not too drastic. Let's see. We'll go with something a little circular. Yeah, that's fine. And we'll select that. Give it a second, and then click off that. And what we're going to do is switch this to wire mode. And first thing is, we don't want very thick rail here. We want kind of a thin rail. So about a 0.8, and I'm going to drag him out a little bit, and height maybe a little bit more, and we'll take a look at perspective here, and we'll hit enter, and then we'll go to surface 1, sweep 1, click on our ring rail, or our pendant rail rather, and our profile, and we get something like this. It kind of cuts off in there, so let's drag it out a little bit. Let's go ahead and enter, because now we can edit everything real time, which is awesome. And we'll drag that out just a little bit, see what it looks like. Yeah, it's much better. Gives it a little bit of space in there. Alright. Alright, yeah. We'll drag that down a little. I don't need it that high. Yeah, right there. Alright, and then hit enter. Now what we want to do is if we want to add any more prongs in there to cover up these spaces or get rid of prongs, right? So don't want to change too much, but let's go to settings and prongs on surface, and it'll ask us to select our surface. I'm going to select bias stone because it's going to drop something out there. Don't worry, you can always just get rid of that later, but we want to make adjustments on this one, so we'll drop it dome height. No, that's fine. We'll adjust that a little bit. We want to take it down to around a 0.5, which is our other stones, and we have, you can see our white circle there is actually updating as well along with our prong. So this will be the size of prongs that we put on there. Okay, and then now you can go ahead and select that one and go over to your dynamic commands and just hit delete, and then you can, it'll place them around. So let's see, and you can add prongs anywhere, any size, by adjusting. And I'm going to go ahead and add one right in here, one over in here, one in this area here, cover up that area, and we'll have to do the same thing on this side. And just the top view is probably best. You're looking straight down on it. You can kind of put prongs in there where you think a little too much gappage. Okay, I don't want that. I want to. Let's find someplace else to. Yeah, one right in there, and one over here on this side, and then one back down in here. This area here. So we're just kind of filling up the holes to make the pave look a little bit better. And probably put one over, it's a little small area. Okay, so we'll just go ahead and take that, and we're just going to go ahead and select all the purple and join them together, and then we're going to unjoin. The reason I'm going to unjoin is because I'm going to hold down control, and I don't like, well, okay, we'll do it again. Select all our purple, group them together, group them, there we go, group them together so they're all grouped, even the ones we just placed. And now I'm going to ungroup them all, and then I'm going to hold down control and select ungroup, hold down control, select that one, that one, that one, and that one. Kind of take a look around, see if there's any others that I want to kind of change up. Alright, and we'll hit enter, or click off rather, and then I'll just get rid of this one, this one, this one, and this one, and we'll put another prong on there. Surface, okay, there, it went ahead and took that one, so let's go back to perspective, adjust it a little bit. This takes adding these dome height, yeah, that's fine, down to 0.5. Size, we want that kind of a little bit bigger to take care of both those prongs, and I'm going to delete that one anyway. I just want to get it so I can come over to this side and take a look, see how it's okay. So it probably needs to be a little bit thicker. Come over to this side, and maybe a little bit more. Come over to this side, right there. Go ahead and click on that one, and then I'm going to delete it, and I'm going to go ahead and add over here. There we go. Okay, so we got two nice huge ones, but we can clean those up in the setting process. Alright, so I'm going to click off that, hit enter. Take a look at this one here. I'm going to ungroup those. And I'm just going to move this one in a little bit. Do some minor adjustments. I'm going to get rid of that one. Just clean it up how you see fit. I'm not going to mess around with it too much. I shouldn't worry about all that. Okay, we'll move on. Sorry. But that's how you add stones to a setting, or yeah, I should probably, okay, on a pave, which makes it very useful. And then just add prongs to cover it up. If you take a look at it, you can kind of get a little bit of feel of what it's going to look like, which really is not that bad. I don't have my render on, so let's click it on real quick. And we'll take our gems and we'll change them to diamond, hit apply, and we'll take a look at it. Still not doing it. Oh, here we go. There we go. Kind of give you a little look. Let's take this surface, turn it to green. Do another look. Alright, so that's kind of the pave there. But we're going to add some extra stuff to this thing, just for fun. Right now, we're going to take this. Okay, so our surface here is a little bit higher, so let's see, we're going to drop that down just a little bit. Okay, now we have this surface up, so when you go back to that profile, so I want it down below my surface there, right? So I'm going to undo that, get our history back, and I'm going to select this profile and go to edit, and I want to drag that down just a little. Take a look, a little bit more. There we go, and that looks okay, and we're still inside our rail. Okay, so we'll take that. All right, now we're going to put a profile on this outside rail. So we'll go to Tools, go to Profile, and go to our right view. And again, we don't want to make this one too thick, and we want to get some kind of design, but nothing spectacular. Let's see, we don't want anything sharp because we're going to make it thin. That'll just make everything sharper, right? So something with a smooth top to it, but nice smooth rails on the side. Let's see what we got here. Something like this might be interesting, so we'll take it and get off of that, and we'll go ahead to profile placer, Z direction, and again thin, like I said. We'll just do a 1 millimeter, and we'll drop that down a little and hit enter. And then I'm going to take all this, and well, I want to select all this and drop it down just a little, maybe a little more. Okay, and what I'm going to do from here is do a sweep 1 from here to here, hit enter. So we got something like this going on. It's kind of cool. All right, enter, and my gems are up here, so it looks they're kind of like popped out. And from here, what we're going to do is go to a curve, go to our ISO curve, so it's down here on the end, other end. ISO curve, and we're going to select an ISO curve from here, and I'm going to take it and drag it up a little bit, yeah, maybe around there, hit enter. We can always move that, and then right click and then click on this surface over here, reactivating the command, and click this point and drag it up a little, maybe a little bit. Yeah, that might be okay. And we'll hit enter. Now I'm going to go to my arc direction curve, and from my quad snap over here, quad to I found it there. There you go. And go to my front view. And or rather right view. There we go, front view. And kind of give it a little arc there. Alright. And then from here back to perspective and do another surface 2 sweep, except we want to change it to this color now. And we'll do a surface 2, this curve with this curve, and hit enter. Okay, well, enter. And we want to change it to this color here. Alright, so we got something like this going on. Yeah. Alright. And then from here, what we're going to do is we're going to go to the curve menu and go to Jolly. Put a little design on there. So we'll, automatically you want to go to surface, select surface. So just click the surface. It'll throw it up into our box. And then we want to go to pattern, pick a pattern. And we're just going to do something basic here. Do a triangle or honeycomb. Which is it? Okay, we'll go with triangle. Select and then hit enter. Or close that out, and as you can tell, it's like major fine, so that's not gonna do what we want here. There's a lot of things you could do with this though, but we're gonna scale it up, keep scaling it up till we find a pattern that we might like that's wide enough. Yeah, something like that. Alright, and right away we'll just go ahead. Let's rotate it a little, see what that looks like. Yeah, that looks kind of crazy. Let's rotate it 90, see what that does. But you can play around with these. Yeah, that's cool. And play around with these and get all kind of really crazy patterns. Yeah, we'll do something like, I don't know, something crazy like this. But as you can see, is where we put that profile and did the sweep, it's kind of jacked up, right? So we're going to click off that, click on, hit enter, so all our stuff's out there. We're going to take this surface, actually we're going to go back, undo that. We'll go back to Jolly for a second. I want to show something else. And then hit a pattern. We'll go to our same pattern that we had. We'll hit enter. You can make all kind of adjustments there. We'll just do the scale thing here real quick. Yeah, but we'll just keep it there. What I want to do is I want to go down and hit non-rigid. So now it gives me a little bit different look, right? It looks more flowy. So I'm just going to take that, alright, and hit enter. And then I'm going to take this surface, turn it to gray, and hide it. And this was my profile, so let's turn that to gray. And actually it doesn't look too bad this time, for some reason. We have this thing here, though. Alright, so right now we're going to make a few adjustments. So I'm going to turn off green, turn off my gems, turn off my prongs, and we just have our creation layers out there. And I'm going to take those, switch that to gray, get rid of all this stuff that I kind of don't want to mess around with. And I'm going to take this inside curve, turn it to gray, and this curve here, gray. So we just have this out here. And this, gray you go. And I want to, right here, this little thing here I don't want, right? Is there anything else that kind of, Usually, wherever you did your surface, there will be some kind of mess up. So you'll either want to split it and then mirror and rotate it, or something like that. But this one only has one little piece here that looks bad. So what we're going to do is ungroup everything and see if that piece is by itself, which it is. So I'm just going to delete it. Otherwise, I would have to put a planer here, split it, and just take this section here, rotate it around, mirror it around, so that it's all on there. But it was only that one little section that looked like it was jacked up. And it's open. Yeah, it's open. So basically I can just really get rid of that one, take this one and this one, mirror it from F4, hold down shift, and there's our curve right there. Alright, so I'm going to bring back everything. First, I'm going to go ahead and group all that back together. Okay, so we'll get our gemstones, our metal, our prongs, everything back out there. And then what I'm going to do is go ahead and take all that yellow and go to solids, and we'll pipe it. And there you go. Piping is a cool tool. You could go through and put profiles on each one, making different shapes. You could do all kinds of stuff with this. We're just giving a little demonstration here. So we'll hit enter. That looks fine for me. And from here, I'm going to go ahead and take that group and my rail here, and I'm just going to drag it down just a little bit more. And I broke history, but that's fine because we are pretty much done. And there you go. Nice little Pave pendant that put a bell on it, jump ring and a bell, and you're good to go. You can add all kinds of designs. Actually, let's sorry, a little bit longer, but kind of different viewpoint. You could add beads in there, which would spruce it up, and that kind of stuff. But what I want to show here is I'm going to go up and select this layer. I'm going to go back to my curves and ISO curve again, and I'm going to go on the outside this time, and I need to try and get it pretty close to the center. Somewhere around there looks okay, and hit enter. Now I'm going to take my curve, go to solids, objects on curve, right? Now, you could add to, but you could also subtract, and this is what I'm going to show. My beads are out there. I'm just going to go ahead and drag them around and kind of mess around here a little bit. I just want to make sure the ends are kind of real close together. But I'm going to go up to my target object, is this surface, and then I'm going to switch this. And we'll do something like this. Looks be okay, and we'll select it and click out. And right now they're out there, right? Is that a ball on there? Yeah, I guess it is. And you can manipulate this size. Let's go to spacing. No, size for right now. We'll make them a little bigger. And we'll keep that spacing actually. But now what we're going to do is we're going to actually flip these puppies. So rotate, right? Where's it at? Not this direction. We want to rotate this direction. Okay. No, not that one. This one. Tilt. 180 degrees. Let's do that again. Oh, it just tilted over that. That's not what I want. That's not going to change anything. Yeah, this direction. No, because that'll put them upside down, right? I just want to rotate them. Reverse direction. Let's turn on this. Oh no, reverse direction's not it. flip. Did that do it? No. I want to rotate. Here we go. Let's tilt. Oh. Yeah, that's what I want. Why did it do it in the first place? Oh, okay. So they're same on all directions. Okay, I gotcha. All right, well, that's fine. So let's go back here, and I want to drag. It's pretty close. Let's go to wireframe. Take a look. Okay, they're okay. So what we're going to do is say enter, enter, and it places them out there, right? But instead of Boolean join, we're going to do a Boolean difference. Okay. So it'll cut them out, leave a cutout there. So we'll go to a Boolean difference. Hit this as our first surface. Hit this as our second surface. Hit enter. Wait for a second. It's a lot to cut out. Do. There we go. Okay, now they're cut out, right? So what you can do, we'll go ahead and hit enter. And we'll take that solid surface and we'll turn it to gray. So there's our cutouts, right? Now we have cutouts going all the way around. So what you can do from here is take this and explode it. This takes some time, but it's really pretty cool. And then you can take these surfaces here. I'm just going to do a couple just to show you. And change them to a new layer. Alright, and then when you go to do a render, let's put it here. They're yellow right now, but we can take this surface here, go to our render tab, go down to materials, ground planes, this black mat here, and apply that. And now you have a antiquing going around in that design, which would kind of give it something else. So what I'm saying, I guess, is your objects on curves don't just have to be added, but you can also subtract them and do other kind of cutouts and stuff with them. Okay, that'll be all for this video. I hope you found something useful for it. Just add a bell and jump ring, and this one's good to go. So if you did, please leave a like, subscribe, and comment. And thank you for watching. And as always, good designing.